There we go. Good morning, Demetra. All right, guys.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. I am your host, Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer to an exclusive clientele of 6- and 7-figure CEOs. However, I have a mission that includes you. I want to help entrepreneurs and small business owners who are spinning their wheels and struggling to get to their first 6 figures in business by showing you how to make the money and create time freedom. So that's make the money and create time freedom. My time freedom looks like living and working my business from anywhere in the world. And I'm not going to list the countries, but just know right now I'm living in Mexico. Okay. So Blog Talk has already happened. We've already released the topic of the day. The topic of the week has been bridging the gap with touch points. Okay. If you don't know what touch points are, I want you to think about it like this. How many times do you touch potential clients? Okay. How many times do you touch your current clients, even your past clients, right? So think of these ways of reaching out to them as touch points. Now, the research shows that you have to touch a potential client at least 7 times before they will buy, okay? Before they make a buying decision and actually pull the trigger to purchase. So we need different ways to touch them, okay? The more touch points that you have and more, I'm going to say varied ways in different ways, the less it seems like a nuisance, the less it seems like that you are being annoying, right? So that's why all of these touch points are important. Now, on Monday, we talked about marketing touch points. Go back to that replay. On Tuesday, we talked about visuals. It's a subset of marketing, but there are touch points that are highly visual. We went over that list on Tuesday. Catch that replay. Yesterday, man, if you missed yesterday, you missed a good one, right? So yesterday, we talked about touch points that really show your expertise and thought leadership, okay? So those touch points, go back to yesterday's replay if you missed it, because we gave a whole masterclass on public relations yesterday. There's a whole blueprint. You could be out here getting media for yourself from yesterday's replay. So catch it. Today, the last touch points is specifically for your current clients, okay? Possibly even your past clients. I want you to think about your current clients and your relationship with them right now, okay? Now, we call marketing relationships because we also think of asking for the sale without knowing anybody as like asking somebody to get married and you don't know them, right? We liken this whole sales cycle and everything about owning the business, we liken it to interpersonal relationships. We liken it to romantic relationships, right? So if purchasing from you is getting married, okay, then what you know is very, very few people, most people in their right mind don't just meet and marry, right? Like, hello, nice to meet you, Teray, let's get married. And Teray says yes. It just doesn't happen that way, right? And if it does, run, it's scary. But that's why we liken having clients to these romantic and interpersonal relationships, because relationships are about connection. Relationships are about nurturing, right? So if asking somebody to spend their hard-earned money with you is like getting married, what are some of the things you do to get married? You date them, right? You call them, you spend time with them, you talk to them, okay? You get to know them, you get to know their likes, their dislikes, all of these things. That's what you do before you quote unquote get married. And that's what you need to do before you ask for the sale. Okay, so all of these touch points are that. It's ways to nurture. It's ways to talk and get to know them. It's ways to connect. Okay, it's very important, even when they've given you their money, to continue it. Just like it's important to continue it when you get married, right? Now, Teray is our relationship expert. I'm sure she's loving all of this. She's gonna help you later about what you need to do, because I'm gonna ask her, what are some of the things you need to do to really nurture a marriage, a relationship? And then I want you to think about switching that over from a husband or a spouse or a wife or whatever, right, to my client, current clients, potential clients, past clients. Okay, now let's get into this list. Today's category is communication, the key to relationships, right? So communication doesn't stop just because you got the money. You have to stay in touch and strengthen the relationship. So this short list is emails, voice notes, videos, text message, phone calls, direct mail, chatbot.
Is it me that's frozen or can you guys?
No, she's frozen.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, it's not me this time. Okay.
Because I was like, is it my internet? Oh yeah, she's okay.
The only thing that made me look again, because Teray, I saw your head move and I said, okay.
Look, Zoom just pushed me out. All right, I'm back for a minute. I think Teray was the host. In fact, if it's gonna act like that, let's go and make Teray a co-host if it's gonna act like that. Okay, so sorry about that, y'all. The internet's been janky. However, I don't want your relationships with your current client to be as janky as my Zoom and my internet right now. So emails. You send emails as a part of funnels. You send emails with information they need to know. But do you send emails to actually strengthen the relationship? Have you ever sent an email to your current clients that just ask how they're doing? Have you sent emails to your current clients celebrating a birthday? Celebrating an anniversary? Did you know you have an anniversary with your client? When did your client first get started with you? Okay, so you can send an email, you can send voice notes. Hey, I was just thinking about you. I came across this article and I think that we can incorporate some of the strategies I saw in this article. Here's the article, review it, because when we meet next, I want to talk about it, right? Voice notes, videos. I gave the example in Blog Talk. Sometimes you give reports, right? Sometimes they're weekly, sometimes they're monthly. But if you have a long-term client that you're taking through a project, you should be giving reports. But what if instead of just a document, you gave a document, but you also gave them a quick video, giving them a synopsis of that report? How much of a touch point would that feel like to them, right? Videos, use videos, text messaging. When we think text messaging these days, we think about the marketing text messaging, right? And we think about the text messages we don't want to receive from current clients because we don't want them in our phone. But what about if you use the convenience of text messaging to make sure that they are reminded about your upcoming meeting? I don't know about you, but one of the characteristics of my ideal client is she is busy. She's busy. All of my ideal clients are busy. Y'all are my ideal clients. And guess what? All y'all are busy. And I know that. So I can't expect that your calendar reminder might be enough. I can't expect that an email reminder might be enough. You might not have logged in to that particular email address today. So that 24-hour reminder may not have gotten to you. But guess what? A text message will get to you and it's going to remind you to show up. And then now we're making the best use of our time. So text messaging, it doesn't have to just be marketing. Phone calls. Have you ever just picked up the phone and called your current client? Pick up the phone. Phone calls still work. Auntie Shaky works in the insurance industry. They pick up the phone a lot. Okay. But the rest of us entrepreneurs who don't work in traditional industries that have traditional structures, we forget about the phone. And I'm here to tell you, I'm guilty of that. I really am. I live in Mexico. I don't be liking to pick up the phone. I don't want nobody to know that my T-Mobile works in Mexico because I don't want them calling me. But every now and then I pick up the phone and it means a lot. Okay. Direct mail. One of my mentors and former coaches, Lamar Tyler of TSP, he says people love lumpy mail, right? What about sending something in the mail every now and then? Send something in the mail. And I don't mean a postcard saying we have a discount on this, bye. I mean, what is something that, depending on your price point, because some of y'all's price point is too low to be sending anything to anybody. So raise your price point so you can have more touch points, okay? And you can afford it without dipping into your own pocket. But for some of these high ticket services, you should be supplying high ticket touch points, okay? So maybe it's just a matter of you sending a t-shirt with a slogan on it that's very encouraging and it just pops up and it's in the mail. They didn't know they were going to get it. How far is that going to go? In your romantic relationships, don't you like surprise gifts? Right? in our interpersonal relationships. Don't we love our friends that come with stuff we didn't expect? We love it. It could be something as simple as they show up and they have an extra Starbucks. Man, you want to make me fall in love with you? Give me some Starbucks. Okay. So lumpy mail, direct mail. Okay. Christmas cards are still great, but people get a lot of Christmas cards in the mail. What if you took some of those off holidays that people don't expect to get a correspondence for and you sent mail then? Okay. What if you sent mail on St. Patrick's Day and you say, I'm lucky to have you as a client? Do you know how far that would go? Right? Okay. Chatbots, web chat support. Sometimes people don't want to talk to you. Sometimes they just want to let you know something is going on. I love how the tech industry has their ticketing process, right? So I want you to think about something tech, and I want you to think about if something is wrong with tech, you can report it through some type of chatbot or ticketing system, and then they get back to you, right? You can set up a system like that for your clients. If it's something that's small, right, and it doesn't require you to talk, they just need to report it, set up some type of ticketing system. And it doesn't have to be you. It can be a chatbot. It can be a web chat. All of these things are giving more touch point. It makes people who are giving you all their hard-earned money, it makes them feel more taken care of. Okay, so let me repeat the list. This category is communication. Yes, you can talk about it with potential clients and past clients, but I'm emphasizing current clients today. Okay, but the list is email, voice notes, videos, text message, phone calls, direct mail, chatbot, and web chat support. And I gave you an example of each one, right? And I tried to give you an example that most people don't use it for. Now, for a moment, I want to go outside the script and I want to talk to Teray for a second. Teray is our resident relationship expert. Teray, I want you to tell me from your expertise and your long-term marriage experience, okay, what are some great things to cultivate that relationship, that marriage?
Okay, so I took some notes. I'm glad you prompted me in advance because I was able to jot down some things. Yes. So the one thing is that stop trying so hard to attract everyone. Everybody, you have in mind who you want to be with. So you're not out here doing the most everywhere, trying to be everywhere to everybody. That's in relationships, that's in business. The next one is be consistent. So if you meet somebody and you're like, wow, he seemed really nice. I want to get to know him. And he, you guys, text all day one day, and then you don't hear from him for 2 weeks. You're like, I need to hear from you on a regular basis. Either you're interested or you're not. That's in business. That's in relationships. The different touch points you're talking about. Don't just text me. I can't build a relationship with you via text. I don't want to just go on dates. We need to talk. We need to be on the phone. We need different touch points. You cannot build a relationship in one way. You need different touch points. So, we need to do more than one thing. Make your intentions known. So, you know what I mean? You meet somebody and you're just like, oh, they're really nice. Let's talk. No, this is going somewhere. This is a relationship. We're building something. So where are we? Like, I need to make my intentions known. You need to tell me what your intentions are. And either it's a good fit or it's not. If it's not, then don't waste my time. I don't want to waste yours. That's in relationships. That's in business. And be presentable. Like, you know what I mean? You're not going to just be out here any old kind of way. Like, this is just the way it is. I didn't feel like it this morning. No. Quick story. Whenever I first met my husband, we met over the phone. We talked for like 6 weeks before we even met in person. I didn't know what he looked like. He didn't know what I looked like. And then we met for the very first time. And I was offended by his outfit. I was offended. And I thought to myself, you didn't even, you know what I'm saying? This is an old, worn out. So I was offended. And I told my friend, I'm like, what did he have on whenever, it's been building all this time and he didn't, I felt like he didn't put any effort into his, he's great. And I had to be patient, but nobody wants to date you or be in business with you if you're not presenting yourself well, if you're not a professional, if you're not on time, you don't care about how you look to your community. That be presentable. So those are my tips. You know what I mean? I just off the top of my head.
I love it. I love it. And so the whole time that you were talking, I hope what everybody was thinking was, how could I take what she's saying about this relationship and add it into my business relationship with my current clients? How could I nurture the relationship? How can we grow together? How can we make this long term and make it work? Right now, I want to put somebody else on the spot. Auntie Shaky. Y'all know I mess with Auntie Shaky all the time about being luxury, about being judgmental, all the things, right? But Auntie Shaky, I want to ask you from the point of view of having high expectations, okay? What are some of the touch points that if you gave somebody this high ticket price that you know that you would want as a client? Because you don't want no old regular non-luxury, non-white glove service. So what are some of the things as a person of luxury, baby, right? That you expect, especially when it comes, not just your regular everyday, but especially when you pay high ticket.
One of those is exclusivity for sure. I don't want to feel like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I want a maid to feel special. The other thing is very streamlined communication, very streamlined deliverables. I don't have a lot of time to wait for you to figure something out and stuff like that. It needs to be extremely like in your face. This is what it is.
Yes.
Those are the two biggest ones for me.
I love that. Because guess what? When people, what I like about what you said was the streamlinedness, because what it shows, again, because I keep telling y'all, I know y'all, right? What it shows is Auntie Shaky is busy. I need you to have, before I come into the room, before I come into the picture, before you get my attention, have your shit together. I don't want to sit there while you getting it ready. I don't want to hear about when you're going to actually deliver it, but this is what it's going to look like. I don't want to hear all that. Get it the damn together and only get my attention on it when you're ready to do it. Right? So I want you to think about, the stereotypical marriage where the wife is asking the husband to fix something, right? He got the honey-do list and he keep promising he's gonna do it, right? She keep asking. Does that not bring this little jagged divider between them? Because now she mad, right? Now she like, either I'm going to do it myself yet again, or I'm going to hire somebody else to do it. Either way, that person, the husband, the spouse, is not cultivating the relationship. The same thing in business, right? Stop not delivering what you are expected to deliver by the time you said you were going to deliver it, okay? You build trust through consistency, right? You build trust by being dependable. To be dependable, you have to keep showing up. You need to bring this into your current clients. They're not, despite what people think, and the reason why small businesses lose sometimes is you cannot just equate things down to you bought this one thing and that's all I'm giving you. That's all I owe you. Because actually people are looking for more. They're looking to be seen. They're looking to be understood. They're looking to be reinforced, right? So the longer period of time you have that person as a customer, the more touch points you should have, because you're cultivating a relationship. It's crazy because when I first became a chief operating officer, I thought I was only going to be in these people's businesses a short time just to get it structured, get them going. But the relationships that I cultivated, okay, the way I stepped in between them and everything, them people within a week's time, all of them asked me the same question. And at first I thought it was crazy. Then I realized, no, it's all the touch points in how you do what you do. The question everybody who has ever hired me as a fractional COO has asked me within the first week, okay? And to give you a little context, nobody really knows what I'm gonna come in and do. They didn't know what a fractional COO was, especially not for a small business. So they didn't know. They just knew that the person that recommended me didn't have the problems they were having, right? And they knew they didn't want them fucking problems either. That's all they knew. But they didn't know how I was going to work the quote unquote magic. And they didn't know how long it was going to take for them to feel relief. So I get in their business, I assess, I start taking monkeys off of their back, right? They instantly realize that some of the stuff they had to worry about, they don't have to worry about anymore, because they don't have to worry about crisis, because I got it. They don't have to worry about a change that needs to be made. I got it. I'm going to structure it. I'm going to implement it, right? They don't have to worry about the team that used to ping them all the time, because I got it. Now they ping me and I give them structure, because you ain't finna worry me to death either, right? They don't have to worry about making decisions by themselves, because we're either going to make decisions together or I'm going to help you make the decision for you. Okay. Now, let me tell you the question all of them asked me in the first week. And when I tell you every last one of them, how long is our contract? Like, you're not going to leave, are you? Touch points. Touch points. I want you to think about when you meet somebody and you call yourself falling in love, what you think is at first sight, right? What makes that bond tighter in such a small amount of time? When you're in that honeymoon period, you have a whole bunch of touch points. I know some of y'all got some of these stories, or you've heard some of the stories where you met the dude, right? Or you met the woman, whoever you like. You met the dog, right? Because we love our pets too. And how we cultivate the relationship is sometimes what happens is when you first meet them, then you realize you didn't go a day without seeing that person all of a sudden. I don't know about you, but I've had relationships like that. We met on a date. I met a dude for breakfast one time. We were only supposed to be meeting for breakfast. He talked me to death on that breakfast, to the point that he was like, well, let's go walking. We go walking. Now we having lunch. Okay. We having lunch. We smile and we laugh and we start ordering drinks. Y'all know your girl like a cocktail. Come on now. We start ordering drinks. We laughing. Now you want to go to this place, that place. Next thing I know, we having dinner. The first day ended up being 24 fucking hours. Touch points, touch point, touch point, touch point. You see what I'm saying? We need to do this with our clients. Doing these types of things definitely will make you stand out, but it's going to make you one of the best in your business. It made me one of the best in my business. Touch points. This is why all of this is so important. Okay. So Tracy said, to Ray, yes, what I hear you saying is that I have to make a deliberate effort to prep. I am interviewing at all times. Yes, Tracy. Teresa said, fire all touch points, build and create trust. Yes, and dependability, right? Because what we know is that like, know, and trust is built through touch points. If I see you one time, I could kind of feel like I like you, but if I keep seeing you and I keep interacting with you, I'm like, I like that, Teresa, right? And that's how your grandma used to say it, right? I like that Auntie Shaky, right? But she only say that she get a feeling about it the first time she sees you, but then when she keeps seeing you, it's like it keeps reinforcing. I like that, Tracy, right? Then you go to, the touch points that's you got to keep. So that's the like, but the know. The more y'all show up, the more people get to know y'all. That's why I turned this into a morning show and y'all get to be guests, because as people keep interacting with you, right? They know that Teray knows a lot about a lot of stuff. Right? They know that I'm not just playing with Auntie Shaky when I say she likes luxury. No, she really does. And y'all see it, right? She know everybody is getting to know that, Demetra is the former teacher that is now tutoring, but some of that teacher stuff that was a way of life for her for so long comes out, right? They know Cheryl probably been up all night writing and in this publishing industry and having a good time. They know. They know Heather is over there, look, not liking AI and other stuff. Look, hey, Ro. But her vantage point is coming from being a writer and being a journalist. They're getting to know y'all, right? And what they're doing is now you have become a character. It's just like watching reality TV. The first episode, you see certain things, but as you keep seeing the same things from the same people, you're getting to know them. Yes, Heather is hero bougie, right? So you're getting to know them. So we got the like, we got the know. Now we need the trust. Guess what touch points do? They help you seem dependable as you keep showing up and you keep achieving the goals that these people have paid you to do. That's dependability. That is trust. Okay. There can be people in your life that you like and you know them, but you don't trust them, right? You like them, you know them, but you don't trust them. Why? Because they're not dependable. Why? Because they don't show up when they're supposed to. Why? Because they're not consistent. I want you to think of all of these things and put them in your business, because business is highly relational, right? That's what people mean when they say business is personal. It's because you have to create and foster that connection. All right. So I would love to hear, when you think of relationships and you think of touch points and you think of your current clients, I would love to hear what kind of touch points are you guys going to start incorporating into your relations to strengthen your relationships with your current clients. And I'm going to start with Cheryl, because I haven't given Cheryl a chance to talk yet, and we've been missing her all week. So Cheryl, what are some of these touch points you're going to put in to foster with your current clients?
About 2 weeks ago, I started putting it on my schedule, regular times to check in. Because a lot of people, for instance, I had a person, I'm finishing up, what do you call it? I need to wake up. I'm sorry, ghostwriting project. But anyway, and the person was like, well, I've got to go out of the country and blah, 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 but I'm going to write this at this time, da, 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 da. Well, 6 weeks went by instead of 2 days and nothing. And so, I reached out, and it's been one of the things I also understand even more these days is if the business style is not compatible. Some people like a lot of bits and pieces of paper.
Yes.
I don't have time to do all of that. So I need to refer you to somebody that they may give you less quality, what am I trying to say? Less quality work, or they can give you great quality work, but they like doing bits and pieces of paper. That's a love match. For me, it's not, because I like to stick and move. And so I started doing,
I said, I love that. Keep going.
So I started doing the reach out, and it's really helped clients open up more. So, there's always something to learn, but that's what I started doing. And it helped the business also move forward more quickly, which was an interesting dynamic. So that's my 2 cents.
That was way more than 2 cents. That was valuable, because you brought up the importance of alignment, right? So if we go back to relationships, what do they tell you? And it's very biblical, right? You need to be equally yoked, right? I love that. You brought that up, and I love that. That was highly valuable. When I'm coaching people, right? I am not aligned with people who don't take action. I'm not aligned with you if you don't take action, because I only coach your action. I can't coach what you would have did. I can't coach what you're thinking about doing, right? I can only coach your action. So we're misaligned if you don't take action, right? I remember referring somebody to one of my business besties for a service. And then that person that I referred to her came in my inbox and said, hey, is such and such okay? I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, she didn't answer me back. Okay. First of all, I don't know why you asking me why she didn't answer you back, but what do you mean? She said, oh, I submitted the stuff she asked me for, and she didn't say anything. I almost feel like Allen Iverson, right? I was like, practice? We talking about practice? Lady, you gave it to her, let her work on it and tell you if you just gave it to her. What you thought that as soon as you hit send, you was going to get a phone call? That's not how this works, right? And if that's what you need, I might have referred you to the wrong person, because that person right now is not going to be calling you all the time. So alignment is really important. So thank you for that, Cheryl. I love it. I love it. I love it. Heather, you've been quiet. You ain't even on camera. We don't know what's going on with you, but guess what? We want to know what some of these touch points that you're going to start incorporating with your current clients.
So I'm not on camera because I had a little rough morning with the tiny person.
Oh, okay.
So that's fun. Anyway, so what I learned during my first cohort, and Teray can attest to this for my writing program, is that my communication was inconsistent at best. And I learned that the authors need more consistent communication. They also didn't want a workbook given to them in bulk, that they preferred potentially to have the work, like the weekly talk, like, for lack of a better word, distributed on that week, right? It was a little overwhelming to have this workbook given to them. Excuse me. So more consistent communication, but speaking to your, like, I feel like when you do submit something, like there should at least be acknowledgement that you submitted something, like, hey, thanks, I got it. I'll get back to you when I'm ready.
Yeah, there definitely should, just not right when you submitted it.
Correct. Yeah. No,
like
I agree.
You just hit send, lady.
What do you mean you're not done?
I mean, it's not an automation funnel. Like, what do you?
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
But also, I don't really ask for phone number. I mean, I have phone numbers, but like, it's not part of the process. And I also don't have physical addresses, like home addresses. I don't know why I just didn't feel comfortable asking for that, but maybe I should, because I do really like, I mean, I really love a good t-shirt and a notebook.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a really nice way to, and then your whole thing too, where you graduate people, like to kind of make that a thing. So I like that.
Can I also add that a couple of things with Heather's writing program is that we were all equally yoked with her. We needed somebody to hold our hand from week to week and help us through the hard parts of writing. So she was absolutely the person for that. But also, she already knew us. We already knew, liked, and trusted Heather. So whenever she talks about how she wasn't, what would you say, you didn't communicate as well or whatever, we were patient with her because we already liked her. Now, the thing is that if it was a cold sell and we were like, oh yeah, you're going to do X, Y, and Z, and we didn't know who she was, and then she was fumbling through this first cohort, then somebody may not have been as patient. But there were like, 5 of us. And, we're like, Heather, it's fine. It's fine. She was adding in extra, time with her, one-on-one time. She's like, hey, let's do a writing session this week because I feel like, some of the comments, blah, blah, blah. And she was nurturing.
Look, them sound like touch points. She added more
touch points. But she was nurturing us the way we needed to be nurtured. So she listened to what we needed, and then she provided the service because we paid her. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to add that in.
Thank you. I think now I'm all okay. I'm just gonna cry in the corner. Thank you. Okay.
Look at their appreciation. All right, I love it. Tracy, what are some touch points you're going to add for your current clients?
For my current clients, I am going to actually just get on a schedule, a cycle of touching them through text, calls, emails, and the off-dated thank you cards and appreciation cards.
Love it. Love it. Demetra, how are you going to add touch points to your current clients?
I currently have a lot of touch points already. Within 24 hours, they get the progress, and actually within an hour after the student leave, they get a progress notes. I'm always asking how they're doing. I've added birthday cards to the kids, birthday card and a little treat. They're going to get that magazine quarterly. So I've done a lot, and any parent who sent me their birthday, I will also send a birthday card to them. If they're waiting in the lobby, I make sure that I come out and quickly say hello or goodbye to them. The kids get icy pops at the end of each session, so I have that. So the relationship building now has to happen within the school system, because that's the educational services portion of it, of being out and about in the community, in the schools, and helping them. So yesterday I sent I noticed that one school that was in my, within close distance to the office, was having the Scholastic Book Fair. Well, I'm not in the school system right now. I love the Scholastic Book Fair. So I contacted the school and see if it was okay for me to come up. But I took it from a different point. When they answered the phone, because I already knew that they were going to be extremely busy, no matter what time of day you call the school, it's always going to be busy. I said my name, and then I said, I'm a partner in education for the Douglas County school system. With that right there, they know you automatically stop what you're doing, because you have somebody now who's getting ready to do a partnership with you. And I told her that I just sent the principal an email, but it may go to her spam since it's coming from a business address. She said, honey, hold on. Let me just send you right back to her. The chances of ever getting to speak to a principal is like zilch. She told me ahead of time that she wasn't going to be there, but leave a message. That principal contacted me back within 20 minutes, told me to come on up. She would love to meet me. And I also asked, what book does the teacher of the year in your school want for her classroom? Because I'm going to buy it for her. So what I've taken from this today and to raise relationship building is that I need to make sure that I'm going to be consistent with this relationship. So I need to be extremely strategic that I'm not doing this at every school. They need to be my target area, my target clients, so that I don't give myself burnout and not be consistent the way I need to help build those relationships.
Love it. Love it. Okay, I'm gonna go to Kim next, so get ready. But Shawana has been lighting the Facebook group on fire. So let me share some of the things that Shawana has said. Shawana said one of the things that she will work towards is in this fourth quarter is sending something in the mail. Then she said all the other touch points we do on a regular basis. Yes, you must be a person that is, you must be a person that is ready to action. She talking about to work with me as a coach because she works with me as a coach. And then she says, when I sent an email, I followed up with a text message because there's schedules to check their mail. So busy, right? People are busy. Make sure they're getting what they need. I'm gonna tell you, the people who I don't like working with, or a lot of people don't like working with, are the people that do the least amounts and say, well, you should have did it. It's on you. I sent it to you. Why you didn't? Well, you didn't get it. I mean, reminders and stuff. Help people through the process. Communication. So Kim, what touch points are you gonna add for your current clients?
I think for my current clients, it's kind of like a piggyback off of what someone earlier said, just making sure that I, reach out to them for follow-up, and also maybe do a touch point as far as like a quick minute to win it type tip type thing, and so that way that I can, I can send an email or a note saying, hey, did you do this today? Or here's the minute to win it tip of the day. How are you going to use it today? So that way that I stay engaged with them. And I'm assuming that's what you mean by that, because I'm kind of working in at the same time. So I'm listening.
Yeah, no, you're correct. That's a touch point. And it's a regular one. So yes.
Yes,
most
that's
definitely.
it. Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Auntie Shaky. Auntie Shaky, you require a lot. What you give out? Oh, have a great day. So she got to go.
Yep, I got to go. Sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead, Auntie Shaky. So Teray, we back to you. What are some of these relationship nurturing things that you're going to be sure to add in when you start coaching these couples to have success in their relationship?
I just feel like videos for my industry, videos are important. Whenever people are seeing you, they hear your voice, you're talking, they can relate. Very much relatable content, you know what I mean? And just, hey, join us, interact, people need interaction. People want to see your face, see you talk, hear your voice.
Love it. I love it. So this has been a great week, y'all. As Heather says, she said she's off to open her writing room. Thank you for a great week as usual. This has been a great week. Touch points are important. And today I really wanted to focus on your current clients because I really wanted to really compare it and contrast it to actual interpersonal relationships and romantic relationships so that you understand what you should be bringing into these touch points, what should be the energy of these touch points, and how you can blossom a connection using these touch points, right? Because when we think about our parenting relationship and how we connect and foster and nurture our kids, right? When we think about the person that we love in a romantic situation, right? When we think about our favorite friends and friend groups, how do we cultivate those relationships? When we think about our parental relationships with our own parents and our own grandparents, all of these things that we want from them, or that we receive from them, or that we give to them, that create and strengthen connections, These are the things we need to be bringing into our business relationships. Okay. I'm going to leave you with this. And that is, sometimes relationships are not also just about your clients or potential clients or past clients. Sometimes it's about how strong is the network of relationships that you have. Because see, when you're good at relationships, you have relationships everywhere. And when you're good at relationships, you can tap into these relationships that you have everywhere to help everybody. So that's that network. Your network is only as valuable as you nurture it. And if you have a big network and you can go and tap into other people to bring them in as a resource, or tap into other people to bring them in to solve problems for your current clients, that is so valuable. So relationships work in so many different ways. Okay. So don't just think about people doing a transaction with you. Think about fostering the relationship. What did you want to add, Teray?
Real quick, the way I met my husband on the phone, I had done a talk. I gave my business cards. The person who had my business card gave it to his mom. I sold an insurance policy to his mom, and then it connected me to him. It was all because of relationships. It was all because of a network. Had I not done that talk, had I not given a stack of business cards, it was a series. If I didn't do that, I would have never met him.
Exactly.
All because of the network.
Network, y'all. It's important. So I hope we learned a lot. We definitely shared a lot. You guys are great for adding a lot. I appreciate you. This was a great week. So we'll see what we come up with for next week, y'all. So have a great day. Have a